So tell your mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mama, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Y'all better tie y'all shoes. Y'all don't know who the y'all fucking with, nigga.
After 50 Cent dropped a shady picture of T.I.'s wife on Instagram, King Harris snapped back in the wildest way possible. This wasn't a small reply or a quick joke either. King came out swinging hard, and people online instantly knew this was about to turn into a full-blown mess. King didn't just clap back. He went straight for the jugular. He posted a photo of 50's mom's grave and wrote that he should go dig her up. That move crossed a serious line, and everyone watching knew 50 Cent isn't the type to ignore disrespect like that. Now the pressure is building, and 50 is coming right back at King Harris. Things are spinning out of control fast, and the situation is getting real messy out here. But to understand why it blew up like this, we've got to rewind to where the whole storm started.
Bonded by disrespecting T.I.'s family, more specifically T.I.'s wife, Tiny. 50 took to Instagram and posted a not so flattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny.
On February 22nd, 2026, 50 Cent jumped on Instagram and posted a photo of Tiny Harris performing on stage. The picture wasn't flattering at all. The angle looked rough. The lighting made it worse. And it honestly felt like he picked that exact shot just to clown her. Knowing how 50 moves online, it's hard to believe it was random. And here's the wild part. He didn't throw the photo in his story where it would vanish after 24 hours. Nope. He didn't hide it on a temporary post. 50 put that photo right on his main feed, bold, permanent, and sitting there for millions to see and comment on. That meant the conversation wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. His caption was short and sharp. He wrote, "I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth. No tags, no long explanation."
Hold on the pressure, I apply on the pressure.
That boy quick on his feet, ain't he?
Yeah, I'm the more, as he was saying, I'm him when he made his most.
Just that line and the picture. But everybody online instantly understood who that message was aimed at. T.I. Here's the strange part, though. Tiny hadn't even said a single word about 50 Cent. She wasn't mentioning him on podcasts, not calling him out in interviews, and definitely not jumping into comment sections. She was completely uninvolved in the whole thing, so the post wasn't really about her. It looked more like 50 trying to poke at T.I. because of their long-running tension over those Versus battle talks. Petty doesn't even start to cover it, and people should remember something important. Tiny Harris isn't just T.I.'s wife. She's straight-up music royalty. She helped found Escalate, the R&B group that dominated the 90s with hits like Just Kicking It and Who Can I Run To? So when 50 posted that photo and wrote, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth" with a shrug emoji, it hit different. Tiny has been grinding for decades, building a career through music, TV, and business. She's got her own legacy and respect in the industry. But with one post, 50 tried to shrink all of that down to a single unflattering picture just to throw a jab at her husband. Then there was that shrug emoji he tossed at the end. That little symbol felt like the ultimate disrespect. It basically said, "No big deal," while he lit a fire online. Posting another man's wife to 30 million followers and acting like it's nothing? That's cold. But the internet never sleeps, and neither does King Harris. Within hours, he spotted the post, and there was no chance he was letting that slide. The 21-year-old didn't respond with some slick meme or a vague message. Nah, he went straight for a brutal shot. King jumped right into the comments under 50's post and dropped a short, bold line. No hesitation at all. He wrote,
"She got killed when I was like 8 years old."
So when you say hustling, she was involved with what? She was
selling drugs.
Selling drugs.
Yeah.
"Where your mama" with the eyes emoji. That sentence hit heavy. Anyone who knows 50 Cent's past already understands why people reacted so fast. His mother, Sabrina Jackson, passed away back in 1983 when he was just a child. It's one of the most sensitive parts of his life story, and King just pulled that topic straight into the public comments for everyone online to see. But King didn't stop there. He doubled down and pushed things to a whole new level. He jumped on his own Instagram and posted a real photo of Sabrina Jackson's headstone, 50 Cent's mother's actual grave. You could clearly see her name, her birth year 1958, and the year she passed, 1983. That made it personal, and everybody watching knew it instantly. Then King tagged 50 directly in the post and wrote, "Yo, dig up your mama." Another version of the caption said, "Where your mama at?" At that point, it wasn't trolling anymore. It was straight up disrespect, and the internet could feel the tension rising. But King still wasn't done. He hopped in his car, hit record, and started going off on his Instagram stories. No script, no filter, no calm energy, just raw emotion pouring out.
I think that, that is more of a way for them to check him on the space of like how you carry yourself versus how this carries himself. Now, we all could agree, let's keep it 1,000. That shit 50 did was...
Across several stories, he kept the same aggressive tone. He even reposted that same grave photo again, and this time added the caption, "At 50 Cent, this where your mama at." It looked like he was pushing every single button he could find. The internet couldn't believe what they were watching. Fans and celebrities were stunned as the whole situation exploded online in real time. By that point, the line was officially crossed. 50 Cent posted Tiny's picture, and King answered by posting a photo of 50's late mother's grave and telling him to dig her up. That's one of the most ruthless exchanges the culture has seen in a long time. Losing a mother at 8 years old is already a painful part of anyone's life story. Bringing that kind of loss into a public argument hit people the wrong way fast. Many watching felt the moment went way past internet jokes and turned into something harsh. During King's rant, he even shouted, "Man, pull up my mama, mama, mama legend, your mama." The energy sounded like pure anger spilling out, but to viewers, it landed like a direct shot. That's when people realized this situation wasn't just online trolling anymore. It had turned deeply personal. What makes it even crazier is that all this chaos started from something that was supposed to be about music. The whole spark traces back to a versus battle that never even happened. According to T.I., the story began when both him and 50 Cent were out in Los Angeles. They were moving in the same entertainment circles, working in TV and film, and eventually crossed paths. Someone brought up the idea of a versus battle, and T.I. says they actually sat down face to face and talked it through. But after that meeting, things reportedly went quiet. T.I. later claimed that 50 Cent stopped responding and the whole conversation about the battle just faded away like it never happened. T.I. later broke the whole story down on $1 Million Worth of Game with Jilly, Wallow, and the crew, explaining everything from start to finish. It's crazy when you think about it. A simple hip-hop conversation about hits and legacy somehow turned into one of the messiest online feuds people have seen in years.
Jumped in the mix. I ain't even mad at him for defending his mom. Now, do I think that this will go to some crazy level of some...
I laid the situation out piece by piece, explaining exactly how things were supposed to go between him and 50 Cent. According to him, the original idea was actually clean and positive. The plan was two Southern rap legends stepping on stage, celebrating their catalogs and what they built in hip-hop. No drama, no sneak shots, just classic records and mutual respect for the culture. T.I. said while both of them were out in Los Angeles handling business, pitching TV shows, linking with executives, and moving around the industry, they started talking about doing a versus battle. And at first, 50 seemed completely on board with it. They even mapped out a simple strategy. T.I. would go public first and call 50 out for versus. Then 50 would jump in the comments online and co-sign it to make everything official. That was the play. Smooth, clean, and easy. So T.I. followed through like he promised. He went on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp, mentioned 50 during the versus conversation, and made it clear he wanted that matchup. I said straight up he was ready for the challenge, but he felt like 50 never stepped up after that. The energy at the time was competitive, not disrespectful. It was supposed to stay about music, not turn into this level of chaos. But when T.I. stepped up first, exactly like they planned, 50 suddenly switched up. Instead of backing the idea, he left T.I. standing out there alone like the conversation never even happened. The move made it look like T.I. was just another rapper chasing attention online. That's when the whole vibe flipped fast. For T.I., it stopped being about a versus battle. It became about respect and character. If 50 didn't want to do the battle, that was cool. Just say that. But smiling in private and then acting clueless in public, that rubbed T.I. the wrong way. You could hear it in his voice whenever he talked about it. What started as friendly competition slowly turned into straight disappointment. I even admitted he went from being excited to share a stage with 50 to not wanting anything to do with him at all.
Hold to go, and then goddamn, when I was talking to Swiss, I was like...
He made it clear he didn't even want them standing in the same room anymore. That statement spread across social media and hip-hop blogs for weeks, and the conversation blew up everywhere. But from 50 Cent's side, the story looked totally different. He wasn't just ignoring T.I. out of nowhere. 50 had already been brushing off the whole versus idea for years. He made it clear more than once that the versus wave felt like a moment tied to the pandemic era, and in his mind, he had already moved past that stage. In 50 Cent's mind, he had already moved on to bigger plays. His focus was TV, film, liquor brands, and building serious business power. Music wasn't at the center anymore. He hadn't dropped an album since 2014, and his mindset was all about empire moves, not standing on a stage for battles. So when T.I. kept bringing his name up, 50 did what he's famous for doing online. He started trolling. His responses were quick, sharp, and packed with that classic 50 Cent attitude. He began posting captions like, "Keep my name out your mouth" across Instagram, usually with that shrug emoji. No long speeches, just memes and sarcastic posts meant to make T.I. look like he was begging for attention. But things didn't stop there. The tone started getting heavier. 50 jumped in comment sections and began calling T.I. King Rat, hinting at snitching accusations. In hip-hop culture, that's one of the most serious labels someone can throw around, and people instantly noticed the tension rising. I wasn't letting that slide. He fired right back with a post saying, "You playing with my name when only one of us are rat in real life? You know I got your paperwork right."
And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line.
Then he pushed the challenge again. Either step into the Versus ring or stop talking. By the time February 22nd came around, the pressure between them was already boiling over online. And that's exactly when the situation exploded even bigger. What started as a friendly idea about celebrating music had now turned into one of the ugliest and most personal feuds in recent hip-hop history. The tension between T.I. and 50 Cent had been building for weeks. Podcast shots, comment section jabs, and sneaky posts flying back and forth non-stop. Something that began as a simple Versus idea to celebrate two legends suddenly turned into a full-blown feud. And it got so messy that family members who had nothing to do with the situation started getting pulled into the chaos. That's when things took a darker turn, especially after King Harris brought 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, into the conversation. The moment people saw that post, the reaction across hip-hop was immediate. Many fans winced because they knew this crossed into painful territory. To understand why King's move shocked so many people, you have to understand who Sabrina Jackson was and what her life looked like. Her story wasn't peaceful or simple. It was tough, emotional, and filled with struggles that never really found closure. Sabrina Jackson was born around 1958 in South Jamaica, Queens, one of the roughest neighborhoods in New York City during that time. Life there wasn't easy, and survival often meant learning hard lessons early. She gave birth to Curtis Jackson, who the world would later know as 50 Cent, when she was only about 15 years old. That meant a teenager raising a child while trying to survive in a chaotic environment. She was doing it mostly on her own too. No strong support system, no safety net, just a young mother grinding every day to keep food on the table and a roof over their heads. Every day was a fight just to survive, and that struggle helped shape the man 50 Cent would later become.
Okay, so first, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and them talk about this.
The environment around him was rough, and the lessons from that life stuck with him early. Sabrina Jackson eventually got pulled into the street hustle that controlled parts of her neighborhood. This was South Jamaica, Queens, ground zero during the early crack era that hit New York hard in the late 70s and early 80s. For a teenage single mother living in poverty, real opportunities were almost non-existent. The system wasn't built to support someone in her position, so she leaned into the only path that seemed to bring money at the time, the street hustle. In that world, survival meant playing by the rules the streets demanded. Over the years, 50 Cent has spoken about his mother many times, and the image he paints is always the same. Sabrina was fearless, strong, and had zero tolerance for weakness. She ran her home with discipline and authority, the same way someone might run a block, with respect and control. For her, tough love was the only kind of love that worked in a place like that. In the 50s, own words, his mother played both roles in his life, mom and dad. He even once shared a wild story about how Sabrina would stuff toys into socks to create makeshift weapons, showing just how serious she was about protecting herself and staying ready in a dangerous environment. Sabrina pushed him to be tough from a young age. She even encouraged him to stand up for himself in school fights so he'd never grow up scared. In her mind, strength was survival. She wanted her son ready for whatever the world threw at him. 50 once shared another memory from when he was a small kid crying on the floor. Sabrina looked at him and told him to get up and stop acting weak. To some people that might sound harsh, but in her world, that was love. It was her way of protecting him and preparing him for a hard reality.
We were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows while we were around each other, man, you know what I mean? I said, what you think about this?
Then tragedy struck. In 1983, Sabrina Jackson lost her life when she was only around 24 or 25 years old. Curtis Jackson, who the world would later know as 50 Cent, was just 8 years old at the time. The details surrounding her death were disturbing and have remained unclear for decades. According to stories 50 has shared in interviews over the years, someone allegedly tampered with her drink inside her apartment, causing her to lose consciousness. He has also said the gas in the apartment was left running, creating a deadly situation that ultimately took her life. When authorities responded to the scene, the situation was reportedly treated as suspicious, with signs that something may have been deliberately set up. But here's the chilling part. No one was ever officially charged in the case. No clear suspect was publicly confirmed, and the situation remained unresolved for years. Most of what the public knows about Sabrina Jackson's passing comes from stories 50 Cent himself has shared in interviews while reflecting on that painful moment from his childhood. After Sabrina's passing, young Curtis was taken in by his grandparents. They raised him in South Jamaica, Queens, inside a small house that was always packed with family. Around 8 relatives were living under the same roof, all trying to survive and make ends meet. His biological father had already disappeared long before his mother passed, so his grandparents became the only real support system he had left. That environment forced him to grow up fast. Over the years, 50 Cent has said that losing his mother shaped almost everything about the person he became. Whenever life hit him with tough moments, he would think to himself, if my mother was here, things would be different. That pain eventually turned into motivation and drive. He even honored her with a tattoo on his right forearm that reads Sabrina with the words Ghetto Angel beside it. For him, that ink is a permanent tribute to the woman who taught him how to survive long before the world tested him. Her loss didn't just leave emotional scars, it helped build the tough mindset 50 Cent still carries today. Sabrina Jackson was laid to rest at Rockville Cemetery in Lynbrook, Nassau County, New York. King Harris was born on August 26, 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia. And from the moment he came into the world, the spotlight was already waiting.
He posts a picture of Tiny, and he says, I keep saying keep my name out your mouth, and puts up like a shrug emoji and says, oh.
His parents aren't just famous artists. They built a full entertainment empire with TV shows, tours, businesses, and constant media attention. Because of that, King never really experienced a quiet life away from cameras, gossip blogs, or public judgment. Every mistake, every reaction, every move he makes gets magnified online. So when the tension between his father and 50 Cent started heating up, King wasn't just watching from the sidelines. He was right in the middle of it, carrying the pressure of the Harris family name on his shoulders. Being the firstborn son of a hip-hop power couple isn't easy. T.I. has even admitted that when he looks at King, he sometimes sees a younger version of himself, the version that made mistakes and had to learn the hard way. For a father, that reflection hits deep. Now that King has a child of his own, he's trying to break certain cycles. In interviews, he said he wants to raise his son with strength and independence, passing down the same toughness his family taught him while also learning from past mistakes. So, when 50 Cent posted that unflattering photo of Tiny Harris, King's mother, a woman he's called a legend many times, something inside him snapped. He wasn't thinking about public relations or how the internet might react. There was no call to a manager, no strategy meeting. The reaction came straight from emotion. To King, that post didn't look like harmless trolling. It looked like a massive disrespect toward his family. A grown man with tens of millions of followers clowning his mom for the whole internet to laugh at. The beat came from DJ Tump, the same producer behind some of T.I.'s biggest anthems like What You Know and Bring 'Em Out. The sound hit hard, dark, heavy, and full of defiance. It had that classic Southern energy that instantly grabs your attention. T.I. teased the track on Instagram with the caption, "Niggas 6'6 A's won't war 8. We own that. Gotta write one." He even added a duck emoji at the end. The message wasn't subtle at all. Fans quickly took it as a jab at 50 Cent, hinting that someone was dodging real confrontation. The preview was short, around 30 to 60 seconds, but it showed T.I. in full battle mode. Sharp bars, confident delivery, and that signature Atlanta swagger that helped make him one of the South's most respected voices. Even though the full lyrics weren't available from that quick preview, the message behind the track felt clear. The song touched on loyalty, confrontation, and protecting family at all costs. T.I. never directly said 50 Cent's name, but everyone listening knew exactly who the target was. The tension between them had already been building for weeks, so the timing made the message obvious. Some fans believe the record was already finished for T.I.'s upcoming album, and he just picked the perfect moment to preview it.
It looks like, in a bad angle, and her body looks a little off. It's like a bad angled.
Others thought he recorded it quickly after seeing his son explode online. Either way, the timing didn't feel random at all. Dropping a war-themed track just hours after King posted that gravesite photo had the whole hip-hop world talking. Reactions split instantly. Some praised T.I. for responding like a true MC through music instead of just social media posts. Hip-hop fans have seen moments like this before. Pusha T shook the game with The Story of Adidon. Kendrick Lamar stunned everyone with Meet the Grams. And now T.I. seemed ready to take his own swing with War. But not everyone saw it as a smart move. Some critics argued that dropping a diss record right after King's viral grave post only poured more gasoline on the situation. To them, it looked like the Harris family went on full offense, King attacking online while T.I. answered through the mic. For some observers, it felt less like control and more like chaos escalating. Still, no matter which side people chose, most could agree on one thing. The storm really started when 50 Cent posted that shady photo of Tiny Harris. That moment pulled T.I.'s family into a situation that originally started as a conversation about music. Before that post, T.I. had kept the focus on hits, legacy, and a friendly versus battle. It was about catalogs and competition, not personal attacks. But once that photo hit Instagram, everything changed. The tone shifted, emotions exploded, and the feud spiraled into something far bigger than music. What do you think about this whole situation? Did things go way too far? Or is this just another chapter in hip-hop rivalry? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, and comment below so we can keep the conversation going.